we've got a 1,000-foot dish. That gives us 70 decibels of gain over isotropic. And again, the 1,500-watt ham radio power limit. Theoretical limit of read range for Arecibo is 317 miles. Let me put that into perspective. You could put an EPC Gen 2 tag on the International Space Station and read that tag from Arecibo as the ISS flies overhead. Assuming that the radar range equation continues to hold true, and we've certainly seen plenty of evidence that it does. So the real world is never quite the same as theory. 317 miles, in reality, that's probably not going to happen. There's going to be other effects come into play. There's going to be other limitations. But certainly, we have confirmed the theory. EPC Gen 2 tags, the read range is dictated by the radar range equation. We get the square root of the antenna gain as a range gain. We get the square root of the power gain as a range gain. So very significant ranges are definitely possible. With this equipment, I've read tags successfully at 217 feet. It's absolutely possible to do more with the equipment that I have. I hit the limits of my test range rather than the limits of the equipment. The primary limit of my equipment at the moment is the receiver. It's not very discriminating in that it can't tell the difference very well between a tag and clutter. That's the main thing that screwed me up, and that's actually possible to improve on because it's all DSP. It's fairly difficult to do. Eventually, you're going to hit a limit on round trip time. EPC Gen 2 is very sensitive to timing. So eventually, just the time it takes for your signal to get from the antenna to the tag and back again, it's going to time out before you can actually read anything. So I had a bunch of scenarios here, and I'm actually running out of time. I'm just going to cover my top three. You can see the white paper it's on the CD that explains all of these in detail. I'm just going to skip through to some of my favorites here. Things that you can do with EPC Gen 2 tags. My top three. Ultimate Stag prank. I bought 1,500 tags for Black Hat and DEF CON for a total of $100. I could quite happily reprogram those to look like passport cards and then drop them in someone's trunk as they try and cross a border. I have no idea what Customs and Border Protection are going to do when they see 1,500 passports in your trunk, but I'm willing to bet it won't be pleasant. Please don't try this. Or if you do, take lots of pictures. Another thing that EPC Gen 2 is used for, it's widely used at the pallet level for stock control, but companies like Walmart increasingly use it to tag individual product SKUs. So what that means is you'll have a unique tag code for every size, every color, every style, every item in the store, everything. Now, given that you can just walk around Walmart and read what these tags are, there's no access control, you can then read these tags at very long range and identify the style, size, color, type of clothes that someone's wearing from a mile away. I don't really want to think about what stalkers would do with that information. It gets very, very creepy very quickly if you can tell what kind of underwear someone is wearing from a mile away. That's just disturbing. They're supposed to be, but you can actually kill the killers. Not least because you can reprogram the tags. You can sniff the kill code and then just walk around the store and change the kill code on all the tags. My number one way to abuse this, though, is mall surveillance. And the reason this got my number one slot is because I think it's actually a viable business model. What you could do is install multiple long-range readers, multiple RFID readers, short-range readers at the entrance to a mall, such that when you walk through the door, it's a very narrow kind of choke point, and you're within range of every tag at the same time. So you can read everything that they've got on them. You can read their credit cards, you can get their name, you can get their passport information if they've got it, and more importantly, you can get the ID number of any Gen 2 tags that they have. Correlate that all together in a database, and then use that long-range tag to track that individual as they walk around a mall. Clearly, we've got hundreds of feet of read range, so you won't need many read points to cover a typical mall. And then you get lots of really, really granular info about, what route did you take around the mall? What stores did you look in? What windows did you pause by to, did you slow down when you walked past the pet store because you were looking at the kittens in the window? It's all kinds of really, really deep data that, folks like mole owners, they can really use that. They can really mine this data to, really plan strategies around marketing and all kinds of things. Obviously, there's all kinds of info that you can get from cooperating stores. You can, tap into their loyalty programs and get names and addresses, all kinds of stuff. It's potentially a real problem. One quick word about defenses, and just a quick word because it's kind of standard fare for this stuff. There's two solutions to all of this RFID problems. Solution number one, don't put RFID in identity documents. Here's the thing about these tags that I handed out, or that were handed out when you walked in. You guys have no idea what those tags are. They all have unique serial numbers. If you actually read the tag number, there's a little URL embedded in the tag number as well, but they're all unique serial numbers. You don't know whether the people that were handing those tags out were supposed to give unique special serial numbers to special people. So Mr. Joe Grand here might have gotten, a specific tag number so that I know that Joe's tag is whatever number it is and I can track Joe specifically. You don't know if I was doing that. You don't know if I was taking pictures as tags were handed out so that I can correlate ID numbers against faces. You don't know. But you also don't know with your driver's license. And the difference between the tags that I gave out and the tag in your driver's license is that you can throw mine away. That's the big point here. If you put RFID in identity documents, you cannot get rid of it legally. Because if you disable that tag, you're tampering with an ID. You're tampering with an ID, and you're probably going to fall foul of the law somewhere. So first off, don't put RFID in identity. And secondly, disable store-issue RFID tags upon purchase. Yes, places are supposed to disable RFID tags. A lot of places claim that they do. But until there's a law in place that says that they have to, it's entirely discretionary. If they decide that they don't want to disable tags anymore, they don't have to. On a personal level, the best defense against RFID is a microwave. 3 seconds in a microwave and any tag will blow up. 5 seconds in a microwave and pretty much any tag will catch fire. So watch out you don't do it for too long. And like I said, it's possibly illegal if you do it to your ID. I don't want to speculate what would happen if you fried the tag in your passport, for example, and then tried to cross a border with it. They might get a little bit upset with that. Okay, so any questions? Yes. So the question was, is there another way to disable tags short of putting them in the microwave? The simple answer is no. Unless you know the kill code for the Gen 2 tag, you cannot kill it. Most other tags don't actually support kill functionality. So unless you're certain that you know what type of tag it is and you're certain that you know the kill code, there's really nothing you can do, and physically destroying it is about the only defense you can take. Yes? A little louder? Who sets the kill code? It's the end user. So when the tags are supplied, they're supplied with no kill codes, no lock codes, and you program the codes as you program the ID numbers. No, there's no default. Yes? If you can be certain that you've actually smacked the chip, yes. If you smack the antenna, it'll do nothing. Possibly. Possibly. Yes, one more question. The time it takes to read a code, I can actually demonstrate that really easily. So each one of those pulses is an entire conversation. So each tick is, there's about 3 commands in the standard interrogation. You can read hundreds of tags in milliseconds. It's very, very fast. Okay, one more question. No, the question is, do I have any waveforms from greater than 270 feet? No, I don't, because the equipment that I've been using to test all of this is a spectrum analyzer. I don't actually have an oscilloscope that goes up that fast. Okay, thanks very much.